When the first SOS Children's Villages International began in Tyrol, Austria, in 1949, none of us knew that we would end up in one of their many charity works outside their headquarters in Europe. The SOS Children's Villages in Kenya have a unique family institution set by the then director Mr. Tony Hannigan and her wife Agnes. They were well known as Baba and Mama Karen through their three children, Karen, Doris and Matthew, who mingled easily with more than 300 children, youths and middle-aged men and women in the first three SOS Children's Villages in Nairobi, Mombasa and Eldoret. Every child that was brought up in the SOS Children's Villages in Kenya grew with a sense of love, security and guidance from the loving mothers who nurtured us into one large family that continues to coexist with other children in the neighborhood. If there was a sick child in the village, Mama Karen would administer them through her nursing skills at the dispensary within the village. We thank the SOS sponsors because there is a medical center at the SOS Buruburu, which also helps the sick from the surrounding communities. The mothers mentored us into doing houseworks and gave us responsibilities that taught us to be respectful and to look after one another. In the absence of the mother or the assistant mothers, the older brothers and sisters became guides to the younger ones, mostly during the holidays when the mothers went to the market or attended to guests that often visited their children's villages.
I'm a mother of 10 children in house 4, SOS Buruburu. The reason as to why I came to SOS, I had that feeling for the children who have no parents to take care of them. So when my time came and I learned about the SOS, I decided even me, I can be one of the parents, the mother, to take care of those children who don't have their parents. So you have to devote yourself, you have to depend on God, because when you work with your own strength, you cannot make it. Because taking care of 10 children is not easy. Because each child has come from different backgrounds, he has passed through several things. So you have to work with each child in order to understand each child's background so that you will be able to help him or her to cope with the life. The children, when I meet them outside, they can appreciate what I've done to them or what we have shared with them. I thank SOS for this far, and I give God thanks for this far He has brought me.
The mothers also guided us spiritually by helping us realize that God, through Jesus Christ, is the maker of the entire universe and that He should be feared above all creation.
SOS is a good organization. It supports me and also my siblings as a family, all of us. It helps us to be some people in the society, regardless of where we came from, regardless of who we are. We are being brought as one family. Our mom is a nice mom. She loves us equally. She appreciates us. She takes care of us as one family. And she also shows us the love of a true mother, just like another mother. We are one, we are united, we get encouraging each other for the good. Whether you have done good or bad, you are being corrected. You are being shown that there is an opportunity for you in this life. And we also live as a family to encourage ourselves as one.
I grew up in SOS Children's Village in Nairobi. I'm an independent youth. I live in the society. I work in Naivasha, stay there. I always come to visit my siblings who are still in the house. We have that bond, directing them to the right way. Or we have to thank the mothers in the SOS, the administration in general. They are really doing a nice job. It's not easy, a mother sacrificing her own family to come and raise orphan children whom they are not hers. It's a very good thing.
Currently, there are 5 SOS Children's Villages in Kenya: SOS Nairobi, SOS Mombasa, SOS Eldoret, SOS Kisumu, and SOS Meru. The SOS International Organization has also built a medical center in Nairobi and Marsabit, a primary school and technical school in Nairobi, one primary school in Mombasa, and a primary and secondary school in Eldoret.
I joined SOS when I was 10 years. That was in the year 2000. I'm grateful to SOS because of the good foundation that they created for me. SOS, it has been not only a mother and also a father to me. Through SOS, I can say that I'm a lawyer today because of the assistance, the financial support, the emotional support that they poured into my life. And thank the sponsors and the management for their support. I thank them because we are now siblings. Our lives are now interconnected because of the SOS dream of creating a family for every child. And through that, I have siblings who are from different backgrounds, people that come into SOS and never thought I would ever meet. And now, as an adult, I am grateful that I met them because now I can say I have brothers, I have sisters. And not only are they from this house, but they're also from the other 15 houses. So I am grateful, and I pray that God may bless every mother, bless every nurse, every doctor that is here to just ensure that the SOS child succeeds. And that's I say thank you.
I've been brought up in SOS Children's Village, Nairobi, since 1973. When I joined this village, I was 1.5 years. I've been brought up by a mother called Magdalene Neruma Joroge. And I asked to my brothers and sisters to be our brother's keeper. We care for each and love each other. Thank you.
The SOS headquarters in Austria also looked for sponsors from different countries around the world and allocated each child with more than 3 sponsors who at their own discretion visited the children they sponsored, and likewise the children wrote letters to their sponsors telling them of their progress in life, school and the SOS family, especially for those sponsors who did not have a chance to visit the children's villages in Kenya. This was done mostly during the Easter and Christmas holiday. The sponsors also gave financial support for their children's education, food and shelter. After the youths have been disengaged from the SOS village, they become part of the neighboring society and have the liberty to lead their own lives and to be independent. We would like to thank the founders, the directors that have been there, the founder, Mr. Haman Gemaina, the village director then, and village father, Mr. Tony Haniger, for their work in bringing us since we were young, since we were toddlers. We would like to appreciate their work. We would like to appreciate the team in Austria. And we are very grateful through God Almighty, but that by the help of Jesus Christ, that we are who we are as brothers and sisters in the community of SOS, and also our brothers and sisters in Kenya. We really appreciate your togetherness. It is not by our own strength, it is, I believe, strongly by the help of God through Jesus Christ. The character they molded in our lives, the SOS mothers, the village director, Mr. Tony Haniger, the founder, Dr. Hermann Meiner, the head office in Austria, and all our sponsors countrywide and in other nations. We really appreciate their work, their contribution in building the village, in building our lives. And we also appreciate God Almighty for giving us the strength, the health that is needed for us to progress in life. Therefore, we thank the entire administration of SOS Kinderdorf International. The SOS Students Villages Worldwide is a successful work begun by God Almighty through faithful men and women who went out of their way and chose to start families that were not theirs biologically, and took the vision of the founder, Dr. Herman Gamainer, and have nurtured children who later on, after the life in SOS, went and began their own families structured as it should be, a father and mother and children. We thank the SOS team in Austria, SOS Kinderdorf International, the SOS sponsors, the Government of Kenya for allocating space for the construction of SOS Students Villages, and the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection, and the Department of Children's Services for ensuring that the children brought in the village had the right documentation for adoption. God Almighty bless the SOS Students Villages, and God Almighty bless all the workers and all the children of SOS Students Villages International. Long live SOS International.